I've seen people with six-figure incomes and empty souls. I've seen broke people laugh louder than millionaires. So don't get it twisted. Money doesn't fix your mind, and hustle doesn't heal your heart. Wealth without peace is just pressure, and happiness without direction, that's just distraction. You want both? Then stop chasing noise and start building strategy. This ain't about quick hacks or fake smiles. It's about 7 habits that'll make you dangerous in the bank and unshakable in the soul. Because being rich means nothing if you're still waking up tired, anxious, and alone. Let's stop pretending success is about one side of the coin. It's not just about stacks in your pocket. It's about peace in your spirit. It's not just about how many people clap for you. It's about how you feel when the crowd disappears. Because applause fades, likes disappear, and trophies collect dust. But you've got to live with yourself when the noise dies down. You've got to sit in the silence of your own decisions. You've got to look in the mirror and ask, am I proud of this? Or am I just performing? Because you can't deposit happiness, and you can't spend peace, but you need both if you want to truly live. Some people are drowning in money but starving for meaning. Others are smiling all day but quietly broke every night. What good is owning the building if your soul is crumbling inside it? Balance isn't a myth, it's a method. But that method requires maturity, it requires discipline, and it requires you to stop glamorizing burnout as ambition. You say you want success? Then define what that actually means. Because if your definition doesn't include joy, health, clarity, peace, and purpose, then you're chasing someone else's dream, not yours. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you wake up and say, I don't just want success, I want sanity. I don't just want income, I want impact. I don't just want moments, I want meaning. And most of all, I want alignment. And that starts with shifting your focus. Because most people are chasing results without systems. They want freedom without structure, joy without discipline, money without management, love without self-respect, success without sacrifice, and peace without pruning. That's why they stay stuck. Stuck in the cycle of burnout and blame. Stuck in the illusion that working more will finally make them feel better. Stuck thinking one more win, one more deal, one more zero will finally silence the chaos in their chest. But it won't, because you can't outrun the absence of inner strategy. They think grinding is enough. They think manifesting is enough. They think smiling through the pain is enough. But let me tell you something hard and honest. If your habits are trash, your life will stay messy, no matter how much money you touch. And if your mindset is poisoned, no amount of therapy quotes or vision boards can save you. You don't rise by accident, you rise by design. So what's the solution? You build daily strategy, not just goals, principles, not just desire, discipline, not just noise, non-negotiables. You show up for your mind like you show up for your money. You build a system that keeps you grounded when life gets loud. You build rituals that protect your spirit the same way passwords protect your bank account. Because wealth and happiness are not separate roads. They're built on the same street, intentional living. One brick at a time, one decision at a time, one boundary, one habit, one belief shift at a time. You don't get there by luck. You don't get there by hoping. You don't get there by pleasing people who wouldn't clap for you if you failed. You get there by building a life where your values and your vision walk together. That's what we're doing today. Not fluff, not hype, but 7 real strategies that will help you build both the wealth in your pocket and the joy in your chest. So you don't just look successful, you feel successful, whole, balanced, powerful. Let's begin. Number 1. Master your mornings. Win the first hour. Win the day. If you want to change your life, don't start with your goals. Start with your mornings. Because the first hour of your day, that's your throne. That's where your mind either becomes a weapon or a weakness. And if you roll out of bed, reach for chaos, and scroll into noise, you're already behind. You already lost the first battle. Let's get real. How you start determines how you carry everything else. If your morning is rushed, reactive, scattered, your day becomes a blur. You're chasing, not leading. You're reacting, not creating. But if your morning is structured, still, and intentional, that's when things shift. That's when you stop playing defense with your life. You want peace? Start your day in silence. You want wealth? Begin with clarity. You want happiness? Build habits that fuel your spirit before the world has a chance to distract you. A powerful morning is not about being perfect. It's about owning the first hour like your life depends on it, because it does. This is your reset. This is where you align your thoughts with your values, your mindset with your goals. Successful people don't leave their mornings to chance. They don't jump into the chaos and hope for calm later. They command the direction of their energy from the moment they wake up. They reflect, they plan, they breathe, they set intention. Because if you start in strength, you carry strength. But if you start in noise, distraction, or mindless repetition, you drag that energy into every room you enter, every decision you make. And here's the thing. You don't need a 3-hour routine. You just need consistency. Wake up, breathe, reflect, and move with clarity. Even if it's 15 minutes of silence and thought. Even if it's just a walk, a journal, or a quiet reminder of who you are becoming. The world will try to rush you. Pressure will try to distract you. But your mornings, that's your sacred ground. And how you treat it says everything about how seriously you take your life. Because the person who commands the morning is the person who commands the trajectory of the entire day. So if you're serious about wealth, if you're serious about peace, if you're serious about rising from where you are to where you're meant to be, then stop waking up by accident. Start waking up on purpose. Number 2, respect money. Like it's a mirror, because it is. Let's stop pretending money is just numbers. It's a mirror. It reflects your habits, your mindset, your fears, and your discipline. You want wealth? Then start respecting the energy behind every dollar. Because here's the truth most people run from: you don't have a money problem. You have a management problem. You think you need more income. But what you really need is more clarity. You think getting paid more will fix your stress. But if you mismanage a small amount, you'll sabotage a large amount even faster. Money magnifies who you already are. If you're careless, it will expose you. If you're intentional, it will reward you. If you're rooted in fear, it will vanish. If you're grounded in purpose, it will flow. Wealthy people don't just earn more, they handle more. They respect every dollar. They track, they plan, they learn. Because every dollar has a job, and every job builds toward a bigger vision. Here's the test. If I gave you $100,000 today, would it multiply or disappear? Your answer tells you everything. Don't worship money, but don't disrespect it either. Use it. Move it with intention. Save before you spend. Invest before you impress. Don't buy to prove, buy to improve. Because wealth isn't about what's in your bank. It's about the relationship you've built with it. And if you don't respect money, it will always run from you. Number 3, build unshakable self-discipline, even when no one's watching. If you want wealth and happiness, there's one skill you can't fake: self-discipline. The grind is easy when people are watching. When the lights are on, when the camera's rolling, when the world is clapping, you show up. You post the highlight reel, you flex the progress. But let me ask you something. Who are you when nobody's watching? Because that's where real wealth is built. That's where real peace is formed. In the quiet, uncelebrated moments where you choose discipline over desire. You want to be unstoppable? Then stop relying on motivation. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. But discipline? That's character. That's muscle. That's commitment in motion. Even when your feelings say, "Not today." You don't rise by doing what feels good. You rise by doing what's necessary. Discipline is waking up when you said you would. Discipline is sticking to the budget when temptation screams. Discipline is putting in the reps when nobody's clapping and nobody's watching. And let me tell you, success doesn't reward the most talented. It rewards the most consistent. If you do the right thing one time, great. If you do it every single day, now you're dangerous. Now you're unshakable. Now you're building something the storms can't touch. People want rich lives with lazy effort. They want peace without sacrifice. But you only get out what you're willing to put in. Discipline doesn't restrict you, it frees you. It frees you from chaos. It frees you from regret. It frees you from waking up 10 years from now wondering, what if I had just committed? You want wealth? You want happiness? Then master your choices. Because when you become the kind of person who does what needs to be done, whether you're tired, bored, or alone, there's nothing you can't create. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and everything you say you want. Number 4, choose people who strengthen your spirit, not just your status. If you want real wealth and deep happiness, you have to start being ruthlessly selective about who you keep around you. Because people are energy, people are influence, people are environments in human form. And if you surround yourself with the wrong environment, don't be surprised when your growth starts to rot. Some people boost your confidence. Some people kill it in small conversations with tiny-minded thinking. Some people speak life into your dreams. Others plant doubt with a single look, a lazy word, or a sarcastic laugh. And if you don't guard your space, their energy will sink into your bones like poison dressed up as concern. Your circle is either pulling you up or dragging you down. There is no middle ground. If the people closest to you don't challenge you to rise, if they don't respect your growth, if they mock your ambition or keep you stuck in stories you've outgrown, then it's time to edit the cast of your life. Because some people love the version of you that stays small. Why? Because it makes them feel comfortable. Because your growth reminds them of what they're avoiding in their own lives. But this is your life, your purpose, your path. You can't afford to keep letting low-energy voices shape a high-impact destiny. If your dream is big, your support system better be strong. You need people who speak accountability, not excuses. People who push you when you're slipping. People who celebrate when you win and correct you when you drift. Wealth isn't just built with dollars, it's built with decisions. And one of the most powerful decisions you'll ever make is this: who gets access to me? Protect that access like your life depends on it, because it does. You want to go further, faster? Get around people who are already moving. People who talk strategy, not gossip. People who build, not blame. People who remind you of your future, not your past. Because in the end, you won't rise higher than the people you surround yourself with. So choose wisely. Your wealth and your happiness depend on it. Number 5, make purpose the foundation, not just the accessory. Let's get one thing straight. Success without purpose is just motion. It looks good on the outside, but it's empty on the inside. You can have the car, the clothes, the cash, but if you don't know why you're waking up every morning, you're just running laps on a treadmill, moving fast, but going nowhere. Purpose isn't some magical destination you find in a journal prompt. It's a daily decision, a conscious alignment between your values and your actions. When you build your life around purpose, everything shifts. Your goals stop being about ego and start being about impact. Your work stops being exhausting and starts becoming meaningful. Even your pain starts to make sense because you've connected it to something greater than just survival. See, most people are chasing results. They want the outcome without the why. They want the house without building a home. They want attention without having anything worth saying. So, purpose is the only thing that can carry you through pain. Because when things get hard, and they will, it's not money that'll save you. It's not followers. It's not applause. It's purpose. It's that fire in your chest that says, I'm not doing this for vanity. I'm doing this for legacy. I'm not running for trophies. I'm building for something bigger than me. Purpose gives pain a direction. It turns failure into wisdom. It turns long nights into fuel. It gives your hustle meaning. If your work has no soul, your success will have no satisfaction. If your grind has no reason, your riches will have no reward. But when your mission leads your ambition, you don't just win, you transform. You build something worth waking up for. And that's wealth. That's happiness. That's power. Number 7, simplicity over chaos. Focus is your superpower. Most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they're scattered. Too many directions, too many distractions, too many voices pulling them away from their own lane. They're not short on talent, they're short on focus. Wealth isn't built in chaos, and happiness can't live in clutter. If your mind is overwhelmed, your life will be too. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do the right things, consistently. You want to win? Then stop trying to impress everyone. Start eliminating what doesn't serve the mission, because when your life gets too noisy, your purpose gets drowned out. Greatness doesn't come from being busy, it comes from being clear, laser-focused, obsessed with simplicity. Look at the most successful people. They're not doing 100 things well. They're doing a few things with extreme precision. They cut the fluff. They cut the fake commitments. They stop chasing what's popular and stay committed to what's purposeful. That's how you build wealth, by focusing your energy like a laser, not a flashlight. That's how you protect your happiness, by keeping your plate light and your vision heavy. So ask yourself, what do I need to drop in order to rise? What habits, what noise, what empty tasks have I been clinging to that are silently stealing my peace? Because every yes you give to something meaningless is a no to something life-changing. It's not about doing more. It's about doing less, better. Simplify, prioritize, focus. And suddenly, everything starts to make sense. The fog clears, the pressure lifts, the results multiply. Because a focused mind is a wealthy mind, and a focused life is a happy one. Number 7, stay humble, stay hungry. The work is never over. If there's one thing that destroys both wealth and happiness, it's comfort, not peace, but complacency. The moment you think you've made it, the moment you believe the grind is over, that's the same moment your growth starts dying in silence. You see, real winners never retire from self-mastery. They don't hit a goal and then disappear into ease. They understand. This life isn't a destination. It's a rhythm, a flow of growth, setbacks, clarity, and constant adjustment. You want to be truly successful? Then stay humble enough to keep learning, and hungry enough to keep going. Pride will fool you into thinking you're above the basics, but the basics are what build empires. The fundamentals are what keep you sharp when the pressure rises. You never outgrow discipline. You never outgrow accountability. You never outgrow the grind. The richest souls I've met, they're still students. They ask questions. They seek feedback. They don't pretend to have it all figured out. Because when you stop learning, you stop leading. And when you stop working on yourself, life starts working against you. So stay hungry, not desperate. Driven, not frantic, focused. Hunger keeps your feet moving, even when you're tired. It reminds you why you started. It protects you from the ego that wants to relax after one small win. And humility? That's your anchor. That's what keeps you grounded when success tries to blow up your head. It reminds you that you're not doing this just for praise. You're doing this for purpose, for the people watching, for the future version of you who's depending on this moment. So don't just aim to get rich. Don't just aim to get happy. Aim to keep growing. Every day, every season. Because the work is never over. And the moment you accept that, you become unstoppable.